Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well, inshallah. So I have actually already filmed a video which is called postpartum essentials just before this one. It was just a bit too long, so I thought it would be easier to do it in two parts. I'm filming the things that you need to take to the hospital with you in this part of the video. So if you want to see everything that you need for your postpartum journey, then definitely watch the other video. But for this video, we'll be talking about things that you would be taking with you to the hospital. Without further ado, let's get started. I think first things first, to carry your stuff with you, I used a suitcase, so I would recommend the same. I think it's very convenient to just drag along. So get a suitcase just from home if you have one, and if not, then just buy one, a small one. Suitcase works absolutely perfectly. Now moving on to what you actually need to take with you, we'll split it into two parts, one for the baby and one for the mum. So in terms of the baby stuff, you will need some clothes obviously, and I've got a list of things on my phone just because it's easier to remember. You will need some onesies, and I recommend getting onesies that have gloves attached to them. You can just they're like foldable, so you just fold it out and in. It just makes your life so much easier than getting mittens, because mittens can be quite difficult to look after. So get those. I would say get 5 of those and get 5 of the zip up onesies. So there are two types of onesies that you get, button ones and the zip ones. I would 100% say get the zip ones. They're so much easier, especially at night. Doing the buttons is just so much more difficult and inconvenient. Zip up ones, so much easier. Zip it up, zip it down, quick and easy. So definitely get that. Little things like this make a huge difference to your life, especially when you've just given birth. You're extremely tired and you just need to be in an easy environment. So get the button ones, but only 2 or 3 of those, and then 5 of the zip up onesies. I think that's kind of my recommendation. Make sure that they have gloves. Okay, then you will need some vests, so get 2 or 3 of the vests, put those in your bag as well. You will need some gloves, so mittens, get just 2 pairs. You probably won't use them, but you know, just for the sake of it. Socks, of course, your baby will need socks, so keep that handy as well. Blankets, so they will definitely need blankets, so take those with you. I would say 2 blankets, and the best blankets are the cellular ones, so get those. Get one big one and one small one, just for both situations, but they do give you blankets in the hospital as well, so you should be okay. You will need a hat, of course. So I would say get those cotton ones that are slightly less warm, and then get the knitted ones that are a little bit more warm. Just depending on the situation, what you need, you can switch to those. What I also think is that when the baby is born, because they have an umbilical cord, it's actually a bit more comfortable for them to wear a top and trousers rather than like a full-on onesie. So try to get outfits that are like in 2 pieces, so a top and trousers. It's a bit more comfortable for the baby, because you can just make sure that the umbilical cord is sticking out and not actually tucked into anything and not stuck to anything. Or yeah, I just think that was a bit more useful for my baby, having the top and trousers rather than a full-on onesie, you know. So try to get your hands on those. Now in terms of cleaning them, you will need diapers, of course. You will need pseudo cream, because they will most likely get a rash, so try and get pseudo cream with you. Pseudo cream is really useful for helping with the rash. And also I do recommend using oils or Vaseline or something every time you do a nappy change, because it helps to keep the area. If you use a Vaseline, you probably don't need to do it every single time, because this is very moisturizing, but with an oil it gets absorbed in the skin. So like coconut oil or mustard oil, you want to use it every single time. Just acts as an ointment and can actually help reduce the chances of getting a rash. Also water wipes are quite useful. The best way to clean your baby is with water and cotton pads, so I would say do that, because that is the best way to do it. But in some situations, like if you're traveling, it's not always easy, so getting water wipes is really handy. Now moving on to feeding them, so you would need to take formula with you. It just depends on how you plan feeding your baby. Sometimes it's best to, regardless of anything, it's best to take the formula with you, just in case, you know, the breast milk doesn't come through in the first few days. So take the pre-prepared formula with you, because hospital won't allow powder formula. It's not clean enough for them, sterilized enough, so they would always say to take the pre-prepared one. So you would take that. You can get them from any store. There are different formulas: Aptamil, Candamil, Cow and Gate. Just pick the one that you want to. but from my experience, goat milk formulas are better than cow milk formulas. They're closest to breast milk, so I would recommend getting those. Bottles for the baby to feed them in, so get those. I think glass bottles are the best ones, easier to reheat if you need to. So I would say get glass bottles, but there are so many different ones you can get. I have the Tommy Tippy ones. They work really well. And the other thing is, you would need to sterilize your bottles, but in the hospital they give you the equipment to actually sterilize, so you should be okay. You don't need to carry a sterilizer with you, so don't worry about that. Another thing that could be handy is taking a cleaning mat with you, because it helps to keep the bed clean, and in the first few days baby will poop a lot, so it's really handy to actually have a changing mat. You will also need like bibs. Yeah, my baby actually didn't use much of the bibs that I bought, but you might need them, so I say take a few of the bibs. To bring the baby home, of course, you will need a car seat if you're taking them in the car, so definitely consider that as well. And you will also need a pram if you're taking them home through the train or something, the safest way to take them around. One thing I forgot to mention is a going home outfit, so make sure that you have an outfit that you can take your baby home in. I think that's pretty much everything that you need to take with you to the hospital. You can take a dummy with you if you want to start using a dummy, but I didn't actually take any and I was fine, so consider doing that. But other than that, all good. I think the hospital looks after you quite well, so you should be fine. In terms of yourself now, what you need to take to the hospital, we'll cover that in this part of the video. So depends on how you're feeding the baby. If you're breastfeeding, you will need to take the breast pads with you, because obviously, you know, to help you keep clean. You will also need to take a nipple cream with you, because obviously especially if it's your first time, you are likely to break out cracks, etc. So it helps you heal, and it is quite painful, so you want to definitely take a nipple cream with you. Also, a feeding pillow can be quite useful, so take that with you to help feed the baby. It keeps them quite high up, making it easier for you to feed them. In terms of for yourself, you kind of want to take those disposable pads and maternity pads. So disposable pads are disposable underwear, sorry. You will want to take disposable underwears with you, because they're really handy and you can just use them and just chuck them away, not worry about cleaning them, washing them, you know. It's just the last thing that you want to worry about. So I would definitely recommend getting disposable underwears. They're really handy. A peri bottle is something that you use to spray water down there, and obviously most people would get stitches, so you have to try and make sure that you keep it clean and tap it dry, and not just use tissue, because that's just not, you don't want to rub with tissue, it's just not convenient. So I would definitely take a peri bottle with me. Now if you want to shower there, of course you will need to take a towel with you, some slippers with you. So your toiletries are quite useful as well, especially a moisturizer, because your skin does tend to get quite dry, and a face wash, of course. I think you will also need a gown, especially if you're a Muslim and you want to be modest and comfortable, because the gown that they give you in the hospital, although you can wear it, but it's open from the back, it doesn't have any stitches, so it's not very handy. So you want to take a gown with you that you can that is super loose and comfortable, and you can just wear when you're there. Especially if you're staying for a little bit longer, it can be quite useful. And some comfortable clothes, just 1 or 2 pairs, and something to go home in as well. I think that is pretty much everything for the mom as well. I hope this video proves to be useful for you. If you're watching this, of course, you are probably going to the hospital soon to deliver a baby. You know, inshallah, everything goes well for you. I'll keep you in my du'as. Inshallah, you'll come back home with a healthy baby and everything will go smoothly. So next time, look after yourselves, and I shall see you very soon. Keep me in your prayers and I will keep you in mind. I cannot wait to share more of my motherhood journey with you on this channel. Look after yourselves and see you very, very soon.